What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Harrison, and it's been a while since I have made a normal YouTube video. If you guys watch the podcast or listen to the podcast, you know I'm here every Monday doing the live stream. But I wanted to. I'm starting back up with YouTube again. I did take a little bit of a break after Christmas, mainly because I felt like the news was really slowing down. I was also getting a little bit burnt out with making YouTube videos and doing thumbnails and all that stuff. But I may make another video, just kind of like an update video to the channel. I may do that at some point here in the next couple of days. But I am back in it now. Now that the Switch information switched to, we got that next week. I will be live streaming it. We will be doing two different podcasts next week. Our normal show, we're gonna do our predictions for the Switch 2 Direct, and then we're gonna do a show that night, just talking about the craziness that I assume will be the Switch 2 Direct. But I got to talk about the Switch 1 Direct that we got, the one that was kind of random. It really kind of came out of nowhere. It started off this like Sunday where, a couple of different leakers and other people were kind of corroborating, a Switch 1 Direct. Then obviously we got it. And it was pretty mediocre. And I look, in this channel, we keep everything pretty positive. The one thing I can't stand on YouTube and just social media and like Twitter in general is the grifting. It's like, are these people actually mad, or are they just sounding mad on the internet because negativity, increases viewership? We know who those YouTubers are. We know who those people are on Twitter. I'm not gonna call anybody out or anything like that, but here at this channel, I generally keep things pretty positive. That being said, this Switch one, this Direct was a somewhat of a letdown, and it's probably the only saving grace for this Direct is because we get the Switch 2 Direct next week. If we didn't have that next week, this would be a huge disappointment. But I mean, there are some positives. We got to look at Metro Prime 4. That I'm so hyped for that game. It did look, I don't know if anybody else noticed, it did look noticeably worse than the original reveal trailer. So hopefully we get that another look at it in the Switch 2 Direct, and then Nintendo can say, hey, look how much better this looks on the Switch 2. There's going to be two versions, blah, blah, blah. And then that will kind of upsell people maybe to play Prime 4 on Switch 2. I think that there's a good chance of that. And the Dragon Age, Dragon Age 1 and 2 remaster, we already knew about that. I think we got a release date. No, I don't think we did get a release date for it. I think it's later on this year. So we already knew that was coming. I know a lot of people are happy about the Tamagotchi games. It was kind of a weird game to end on the Direct. That was a little disappointing. Obviously we have to talk about like Wind Waker, Twilight Princess didn't get announced or revealed, whatever you want to call it. A lot of people have been speculating those games have been done for years, and maybe they have. But maybe Nintendo ultimately decided, hey, we've put so many Zelda games out on the Switch, let's hold a couple, and let's up-res them to 4K and put it out on the Switch too. Like, I would prefer that, to be honest. I do think it is important to get those games off of the Wii U. Both those are very good Zelda games, and the Wii U only sold 13 million units, and I think Zelda was less than half of that. So I think those are important games to get into people's hands that have never experienced those games. Those especially Wind Waker. Wind Waker is such a different Zelda game, in my opinion, that I think the more people can play that game, the better. And a lot of people aren't going to go pick up you go pick up a Wii U right now, it's probably $300, and then Wind Waker is probably another 80 or 90. So it's a relatively large investment to get that game, which is why I think it's important that they get it out. So we didn't see it. Is it coming? Who knows? But I think the likelihood of them just going ahead and porting it into 4K makes a lot of sense to me. Same thing with like the Fire Emblem game. There was the rumored remake of Fire Emblem, Genealogy of the Holy War. We didn't get that announcement, of course. So it was just a weird Direct. The vibes were off. And again, I want to stress this, that they're off because we got the Switch 2 event next week. This one felt like it could have been presented in like an indie world or a mini direct or something like that. When you just kind of say general presentation, I think people are more, they have more to expect. So we didn't really get a ton of like first party Nintendo stuff, which which is fine. We got third party from PlayStation, Patapon, and everybody's golf. So I know those games are pretty beloved. So now that they're on the Switch, that's really cool. But this being like the final Switch Direct, again, it was a bit of a letdown. I expected just a little bit more, and I think if Fire Emblem and the Zelda games were in there, I think that would have like lifted it up a little bit, but they weren't. So it was just pretty boring in my opinion. Again, a lot of cool stuff, a lot of really cool indie games. That Pac-Man game, Shadow Labyrinth, looks awesome. It's like a Metroidvania Pac-Man. That thing looks pretty sweet. I think we had seen a trailer for that before. It was also in that Amazon show as well. So yeah, that looks really cool. But yeah, again, for it to being like the swan song, like the final direct for Switch, it was kind of a bummer. Now I don't think going forward. I don't think we're gonna see two different directs. They'll just be the normal direct, and they'll include both Switch 1 games and Switch 2 games, because obviously Switch 2 is going to be backwards compatible, so everything that they announce for the Switch will also run on the Switch 2. And then they'll also say, hey, this is a Switch 2 game, new Mario, new Zelda, whatever the case is. So, but yeah, again, I guess I went into this video not being as negative as I thought. Like, I'm not mad about the event. I'm not, saying like, Nintendo, what the hell? This was like the worst. I mean, it may have been the worst direct we've ever gotten. But I mean, we've gotten so many directs that have all been really, really good. And last year was just full of remasters and remakes that, what do you expect, right? What do you expect? So again, yeah, I thought I was going to go in a little bit more negative, but again, man, the Switch 2 events next week, I'm so excited for that. I'm currently playing through Xenoblade Chronicles X. The game's incredible. So we have a lot to look forward to in not only Nintendo's world, but just gaming in general. We have so many good games coming out that I don't know. The world is so messed up, and I'm gonna get like a little bit not preachy, but the world is so messed up at times, and there's so much negativity in the world, and people turn to gaming for positivity and for fun and for interactivity. So those people that still see the negative or are constantly, you can talk about the negative stuff, like, companies getting, laying off employees and shutting down studios, negative stuff that's important to talk about. But just because like the direct wasn't what you wanted, like it ruins some people's days. And that's kind of insane to me. So yeah, gaming's awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have some more videos on the horizon. Can't wait to talk about Switch 2. It's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, guys. See you in the next video. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Consider subscribing to the channel. I'll let YouTube algorithm pick one of my videos below for you guys to watch. Give it a click, and I hope you enjoy. And I will see you in the next video.